good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to INC Radio Texas. I am Sister Wendy from the local of Houston. I'm really excited to be here, especially today. We are celebrating the 5th year anniversary of multimedia. And of course, I am not here alone to discuss and celebrate. And so I would like to introduce my lovely co host, Sister Jamie. How are you, Sister Jamie?
I'm great. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you all for tuning in today to INC Radio Texas. We've got a great um, topic for you all today because we are joined by like a couple of experts in the INC media out here in Texas.
Yes. So one of our experts is Brother Kim J. Hi, Brother Kim J. How are you doing?
Good morning, Sister Wendy. Doing better than I deserve. How about you?
I like to say the same. It's been a really good Saturday. And of course, we have another expert that's working behind the scenes, but we do want to also introduce him, Brother Justin. How are you doing, Brother Justin?
I'm doing fine, Sister Wendy. I can't remember the last time I was here on cam, but it's nice to see everyone here.
Yeah, and I'm sure our viewers love seeing you as well. Thank you for all your hard work behind the scenes, and that's something that we're going to talk about too today in our topic. So yeah, so we are celebrating 5th anniversary. Time really flies by, and I'm so excited to have our multimedia members here with us. So I'm just going to go around the table to kind of have everybody introduce what they do in multimedia, and also we'll stop with Brother Kim J just to talk about what does multimedia do in a general sense. So since I put out that question, I'll start. So in INC in multimedia, I'm currently mainly focused on INC radio, but I do enjoy just also be in more of an observing role on all the like photograph or other assignments. And so that's currently my level of involvement. And so I'll kick the ball over to Sister Jamie.
Oh, so I'm basically in radio mostly, and I from time to time will assist Brother Justin with little like projects here and there for INC media, but mainly for radio. But yeah, so that's what I've kind of been doing.
All right. And then Brother Kim J, will go over to you.
Good morning. I'm Brother Kim J. I am part of the multimedia here. Um, yeah, that's my.
And you're being very humble today, Brother Kim J. So, do you mind telling us a little bit what you do in multimedia?
Yeah, so currently I am the for this district I am the multimedia director. So I just help with everybody in performance of their duty.
Awesome. Yeah, and so I believe folks might see at events, there's people with, cameras or other equipments going around. So, Brother Kim J, what does multimedia do? Um, I know there's a lot more to it aside from just taking photos.
Yeah, our office, our role is to document all the events happening inside the church and be able to produce any form of media to utilize, to share our faith.
Yeah, yeah. So I believe there's a lot of promotion videos that's also along like the production from multimedia, and I do see the lovely photos that Brother Justin's posting on here. That's at one of our taken at one of our events. Yeah, and you can see behind the scenes, Brother Kim J. Maybe speak just a little bit more on what are they doing behind the scenes.
Yeah, so that's actually my wife behind the camera. I believe that's one of the cameras we have. So what she's doing is doing an on cam. So the sister that's on the camera is doing on cam, where she will give a story or a highlight and briefly talk about what the event's going on. just for that when we do a feature, we could share the story.
That is very interesting. Oh, very nice. And so, Sister Jamie, also just circling to you as well. Um, Definitely wanted to get into what kind of inspired you to become a part of multimedia.
Thank you for that question, Sister Wendy. Actually, this is really interesting. A little fun fact. I've never really shared this with anyone, but now I'm sharing it with a, a lot of everyone today. But back in the day, in like 2002, before there was even truly like a multimedia, I used to be a talent for Net 25. I think my videos or like I think they're like the very primitive time of like how to kind of that was like my segment was like these little how to videos. And if you think about it, wow, that was a very like long time ago, and I think multimedia has come a long way from from that time period to now. And so what inspired me really is just the fact that I have this platform that I can share my faith in, first and foremost, and also just like, also a platform where I'm able to kind of share like other, like other panelists and their stories that hopefully will inspire and, give people hope and strength. When they listen to like these stories that we would tell, and these just fun facts that we would put out there. And I think that to me is such a like a wonderful opportunity, and definitely like a very divine platform that we can share in this manner. Again, it has come a long way, so it's such a great like way for me to see this evolution for INC Media.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you touched upon story. Like this is a platform to share faith in a story format, because videos, photos, they speak, they have power in themselves, and sometimes it kind of resonates even more so versus just simply words. And we all love stories. It just kind of sinks in versus when you think back, when you're learning, when you're comparing the two, when you're just listening to words versus if you're learning something through a story, through a video, through photos, interviews, story shares. Compare which one has a deeper impression for you. So absolutely, this is a really good platform to do that. And of course, Brother Kim J, we'd also love to hear why you decided to join, or what inspired you to join in multimedia.
Yeah, I joined multimedia when I was pretty young. I don't actually remember. I think I'm like 14, 15 years old. It was just one of the brothers there that was a multimedia officer was conducting an interview, and he just asked me, "You want to hold the mic?" Um, and then from there, I just became an officer. Just kept helping out where I could.
Okay, so I think we have some technical difficulties happening on Sister Wendy's side, but yes, it's really nice to see how much we've grown in the multimedia, even further back than 5 years, since we are celebrating the fifth anniversary. And then so thank you, Brother Kim J, for sharing that with us, and of course to all of our viewers and listeners. Some of you might have seen this in the chat as well. So we do have our question of the day, of course, which is, what do you love about the district multimedia? And then we also have some of our viewers and listeners who are tuning in with us right now, especially our CFO overseer, Brother Matt Carl Talent, who says, what I love about the district multimedia, despite the distance and their busy schedule, I love it that they're able to find a way to cover church events with their willingness and enthusiasm. We also have the resident minister of the local congregation of Killeen, Brother Ramel Aquino, tuning in with us. We have Lizette Manansala tuning in with us from Houston, Texas. We have Abby Pangilinan tuning in from San Antonio, Texas. We have Little Bit Talents tuning in from Corpus Christi, Texas. We have Jeb Barrientos tuning in from Orange County, California, who says, "Greetings, INC Radio Texas family, tuning in from the INC Radio Orange County, California studio at the local congregation of Anaheim, cleaning up from our broadcast. Be sure that you're tuning into their broadcast as well." And then we also have Elizabeth Red tuning in from Edinburgh, Texas, who says, "Happy fifth anniversary to the multimedia department. Shout out to Brother Justin Taliaga for leading this in our district." And we have Regina Quitalig, who says, "Happy anniversary to multi media." So thank you so much to all of our viewers and listeners who have tuned in with us so far. So as we are continuing on with our discussion, let's ask Sister Jamie. So Sister Jamie, so with you being in multimedia, was there something interesting that you learned while being in multimedia?
It's actually a lot of hard work that goes into it, a lot of preparation to make, like these things, or like, these content, something that, that will engage, an audience, that will like basically deliver, information. It takes a lot of work, to do it. If anybody, not to discourage anyone from joining, because trust, like we would love to have more of you join INC Multimedia. But especially if you have the talent of storytelling, and you want to learn how to use equipment and things like that, this is a great platform to be a part of. But really, I think what really goes into it, like the pre-productions that that goes into it, and then like the part where we finally get to like publish the work that we have been doing, and even thinking about like content and topics. So it's a lot of like the behind the scenes is definitely interesting, that I will say. So I think that's what's so great about it.
And I think we have. Thank you so much, Sister Jamie. Yes, it does take a lot of hard work, and you're going to take just a tiny sneak peek of what it takes to do that hard work. But let's check in with our main host, Sister Wendy. Do we have you back?
Yes. Thank you
All
so much
right.
for hopping in.
Yes. Okay. So Sister Wendy, what do we have next on our broadcast right now?
Yeah, and I love how Sister Jamie pointed out, like, there's a lot that goes into just being able to help and perform as multimedia. And so we do have a segment for multimedia back check, where we do get to have this opportunity to take a peek at what's inside each member's bags. So whenever you're ready, Tech, if you could share the short video of what's inside the bag.
Hi, I'm Kim Jae, and this is my bag check. So here's my first bag, or case, whatever you want to call it. Holds our cameras. So we have two cameras here, batteries, SD cards, batteries for the monitor, plus the chargers, a monitor, um, other screws that we might need, a flash, and just a couple mics here. And here we have our lenses. Uh, all the lenses that we need for different things, ranging from different focal lengths and what their capabilities are. Polarizers, ND filters over here, and that's it. That's what we got here for you so far.
That is very impressive, Brother Kim Jae. So there's just so many questions, and I'm sure our viewers, if you have not seen what goes into the bags first, I'm sure you have a lot of questions as well. But first of all, what are some of the things that you must bring with you, or do you actually carry all those bags with you every time you go out on an assignment?
Um, it depends on what we're performing, what the activity is. Typically, you always need a camera, an SD cards, and a lens. But if you don't have it, a cell phone will do. So as long as there's documentation.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think, Sister Jamie, you were mentioning a question that you also had when we were just chatting earlier.
Yeah. So if for someone who's starting out, I guess like, my first question is like kind of like what are the basics that they need to have? And if you maybe can talk about the time where you had, like you were on assignment and you forgot something, what's the workaround, like you forgetting maybe a crucial part of your technical tools. Yeah, let's hear, like, if you're starting out, like what would be the most basic that that we need to pack with us?
Yeah. So if you're just starting out, you could always just use your cell phone to take pictures, take footage, record audio. But if you want, any camera will do. Any camera with a lens, I think is can't go wrong. There's many lenses and many cameras to choose from, so it's all personal preference. I have my biases in terms of what I like. So if you want to ask me that, that might be a longer discussion. And then if you don't actually have the equipment, you forget it. Well, hopefully you prayed before you perform, so you don't forget your equipment. But if you do, it's just you just maybe cry a little bit, um, and you find a way to work around. Maybe you have to make an emergency stop somewhere to get something you're missing. Yeah, or maybe it's not meant to be to have that equipment that day.
Okay, so let's say like you forgot, it's kind of a darker, like environment. You forget lighting. What would be kind of like your workaround to maybe get proper lighting? Like, like if you
Mhm.
were, yeah, like on assignment, you forgot to bring lighting.
Yeah, that happens a couple times. Typically, just pull out my cell phone and have other people pull out their cell phones and use their flash, and we just pray that there'll be enough light. It's pretty much all you could do in that situation.
What if you forgot your SD card?
Oh,
Okay,
that's oh
okay,
that's
lesson learned. Or lesson learned. You forgot an SD card. How did you prepare yourself for the following like assignments?
Uh, y- yeah, I've forgotten my SD cards a couple times and had to make an emergency stop to buy some. Uh, but now it's always that's something you put on a checklist before you leave the door. But there's always a chance they could get corrupted, so that's something else. You just have backups for your backups.
there was this one time when I actually had a photography assignment outside of the church, of course, and then and I'm patting myself down to make sure I have everything. I'm like, okay, I got my what do I have? I have my camera, I have my light. What am I missing? And then I open the thing and I'm like, oh no, I did not just do that. So of course, when that happens, then you got to do what you got to do. If you have to be there right then and there, then your phone can your
Yeah.
smartphone can be just as fine. I don't see how you can lose the SD card for that because I think you have to. Those things are like bolted together. But so yeah, if worst comes to worst, you'll just have to maximize the settings that you would have on your smartphone. And then I was and but during this sad situation, I called one of my friends who was supposed to help me, and I'm like, "Hi, do you by any chance have a another SD card on you?" No, I just have one. Right? And I'm like, "Good thing I live 5 minutes away." Okay, so I
What
dashed back home.
happens? What happens if you're in an event,
Mhm.
you're covering an event, and you realize that you weren't recording the whole time? And I'm sure that's happened to someone, right? Like you get back and you're like, did I just not capture that event? What I mean, so again, lesson learned. Like what would you do, or what have you done, kind of to remedy that situation? And I guess like going forward, how do you kind of make sure that you have what you need?
Well, that happened once. I accidentally deleted or formatted an SD card with footage still on it that wasn't given. You gotta own up to it. You made a mistake. Take responsibility. Let those in who needed that information to know. Um, and just take the repercussions as is. It's something you learn in the future. So I learned not to format cards until I'm fully sure the footage is safely stored elsewhere. Forgetting to record, uh, I don't think that ever happened to me yet, and I hope not. So
Yeah, I actually want to piggyback off of what Brother Kim J said about formatting SD cards. So, in layman's terms, for our viewers and listeners who don't know, that essentially means just cleaning out your memory cards to prepare for the next event. Now, of course, that for me, I have separation anxiety when it comes to formatting those files, cleaning out those cards, because I'm just like, man, that is a good photo. Man, that is a good video. I want to keep that. And then the following event, I was so excited, and I told everyone, yeah, it took me 2 hours to finally clean everything out. And then Brother Kim J here, he's like, why did it take you that long? It's just a click of a button. And I'm just like, you never know when you might need this. I have, like, of course, we have these saved on a cloud. I have these saved on a hard drive because I know for a fact someone of importance is going to ask for these. And then,
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna say, so did you ever have like that, like truly that you're gonna cry moment when you're covering events like your heart sinks, or I'm just curious because again, to my point, it is a lot of hard work that goes into this INC media, and I just wanted to kind of paint this picture, like what great jobs everyone does behind the scenes. I mean, being in front of the camera is actually, honestly, I feel like it's a lot easier than being behind it. And you deal with a lot of troubleshooting that no one knows what you were dealing with. So just curious, any like cry like moment, this is the time where, I'm sure anyone, if anyone wants to share on chat also, like you're kind of like that cry moment. You're like, I can't believe I just did that.
I
I
think
forgot to do that.
sometimes when you miss the shot or you didn't do a well job, you get a little sad. That things happen in a quick second, right? You only have like really like 10 seconds, maybe 1 second to cover an amazing event. So if you miss it, you do get sad, but sometimes it's just not meant to be. You gotta keep your head up. I don't know if I ever cried. Maybe I felt sad, but I don't think I cried.
I wouldn't necessarily say cried, more like stressed. Yeah, I would say stressed. So there's this one time we had a Care for Humanity event in Cleburne, Texas, and then I forgot who I gave this to or what I was doing with this thing, but I had a tripod over there, and then we had INC radio the next day. So of course I'm setting up my stuff, my laptop, my screens, and I need my tripod for my webcam, but I couldn't find it. I'm like, where did it go? I know I had it here somewhere, and it was already like 10 minutes before the show. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna have to uh make the best of what I have left. So what I did, I took a kitchen stool, a safety deposit box, a few textbooks, and I wonder if I have one. Okay, I don't have it with me here, but one of those selfie tripods, like the ones that just fit inside your hand, and then I just screw the webcam onto that one, and then it's almost as tall as I would have my tripod. So I'm just like, okay, well, it's not the best, but hey, it works. It works. And then 2 hours later, I get a text message from Sister Mayfan, and she's like, "Is this yours?" I'm like, "Oh man, I did leave it behind." Sometimes you just gotta make the best of what you have. You don't need all the necessary um, bells and whistles. Whatever it is you have, just make the most of it.
Yeah, it's definitely amazing. Like, just being creative on the fly, and that really shines through. And Brother Justin, is there any other comments coming in? I think we just have maybe a couple minutes just to see if there's any comments from our viewers on this
Oh
topic.
yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes, we have quite a bit of excitement happening in our live YouTube chat, especially from Flo Guillermo, the Eins Radio producer for the Oregon Satellite Studio, and she says the hard work in multimedia is so worth it when the outcome is way better than we thought because we are doing this for the glory of God. And we also have one of our very own crew members, Brother Bern Gonzaga, who says, Happy Saturday po everyone, hashtag humble. And we also have Little Bit Talents, who says, I love our district multimedia because all of them are hardworking and always ready to make things happen despite their busy schedules. And we also have Jane Manahan coming from the district of South Central States from the local congregation of Fort Worth. And she says, I love multimedia, such a creative and resourcefulness group, and patient and hardworking with a quick turnaround time for assignments. I love you guys, and we appreciate all that you do. Most behind the okay, I think she ran out of space to write her comment. And we also have Russell Moranan, who says hello from the Moranan family from the local of Houston and the district of Texas. And we also have Rhoda Ibanez, who says, We appreciate the multimedia for capturing all the historic events and activities happening in the district. And we also have our very own district supervising minister, Brother Noel Caritativo, who says, Happy viewing to all brethren and God bless. And we also have Sister Gloria Canlapan tuning in from Austin, Texas. So thank you so much to all of our viewers and listeners who have been tuning in with us so far. So Sister Wendy, I think it is sadly that time now, is it?
I believe so. This topic, I wish we had maybe another hour to talk through. It's amazing how we were able to hear all the experiences, take a peek behind the scenes on the photos that you just shared, and then also a peek in Kim J's multimedia bag for the multimedia bag check. So it's truly amazing to just be able to see behind the scenes, appreciate, and celebrate. Hey, the fact that it's 5-year anniversary now. And so before we go, just to promote upcoming events, we do have Songs of Salvation, a cappella competition coming up next Saturday in Universal City. And then also, before we go, we'd of course like to give our thanks to a couple of folks, our CFO overseer, Brother Archie Talents, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Chody Sampson, our District Supervising Minister, Brother Noel Caritativo, and our Executive Producer, Brother Emmanuel Andea, our CFO Coordinator and CEBSI CEO, Brother Angelo Irano V. Manalo. And of course, special thank you to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. So thank you all so much. And before we truly say goodbye to our viewers today, I wanted to go around the room just to see if there's any special shout outs. We'll start with Sister Jamie.
Thank you all for tuning today. And my special shout out goes to the District of Bay Area, California. I know my mom's tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, Mom. And also thank you all for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. So yeah, thank you for tuning in.
All right. What about you, Brother Kim J?
Well, thank you, Paul. Thank you to everybody.
Yeah,
And no
thank you.
special shout out.
And what about you, Brother Justin?
Yes, of course. Since this broadcast is in celebration of the multimedia anniversary, shout out to our very own district multimedia members here in the District of Texas, whether you're on cam or off cam. Happy anniversary, and we appreciate everything that you do.
Yeah, thank you, truly. And remember, please do subscribe and continue to tune in to INCRadio Texas every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. And the next INCRadio show will be INCRadio Virginia. Thank you, everyone.